Previously on Avatar.
Better than never Bender.
Jet's gonna blow up the dam.
Jet out of nowhere.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
He urged them to trust me, and we got everyone out in time.
It grinds my gears.
Jin Wei was attacked by one of the Zhang.
Wei Jin crossed the border. He was arrested.
Or you could call it lying.
It was the Fire Lord whom he had disrespected. I looked away.
What's up, everyone? I'm Joel, that's Steve, and that's Cash in the Ground, and we make up Better Than Never. And this is Avatar, the Better Than Never Bender, episode 5. In episode 5, we watched 3 episodes, which is episode 13, 14, and 15. These episodes, most of which is kind of not filler, but kind of is. But I think that they were 3 solid episodes. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, they definitely kind of had that filler vibe, but each of them had like little moments here and there that did kind of push the story, push the narrative forward a little bit, especially with certain characters. A little more world building, which I always appreciate. Nice little moments here, nice little insight into the rest of the world.
I'm going to give a brief synopsis, and because it's Steve's first time watching this show all the way through, I'm going to allow Steve to give me some of his highlights. And on my 5th time watching it through, I'm going to spit out some lowlights that I kind of noticed this time around. But episode 13 is The Blue Spirit. Zhao is promoted to Admiral and enlists the help of a group of professional archers called the UEN Archers. Sokka and Katara become sick due to being exposed to a storm previously, so Aang goes to an herbalist to find a cure. After finding it, Aang is caught by the UN archers and imprisoned by Zhao. A warrior with a blue mask rescues him and they escape together. Aang discovers the warrior is none other than Zuko and wonders if the two of them could be friends. Zuko attacks, but Aang escapes and cures his friends. Did you realize what was going to happen almost immediately?
No, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a long time to realize that was Zuko. I caught it before it was revealed, but I'm ashamed of how late into the episode it took me.
At what point did you realize it was Zuko?
They said, "Oh no, we need to capture the Avatar alive," and then Zuko held Aang hostage. When the knife against his throat, then I realized wait a minute, why does he want him alive? Blah blah blah. And then kind of clock. I didn't catch that till that moment. Okay, it took me way too long. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this guy, this blue spirit, clearly knows his way around the place. He's going to tunnels and sewers. He knows exactly what he's doing. Already knows the troll schedule of who's going to be where at what time. It took me way too long to.
I mean, that's right at the end of the episode that you're talking about.
Yeah,
because literally the reveal is a second later.
Yeah. He's backing up with Aang as hostage, and one of the archers clocks him dead center on the mask and knocks out. Then Aang looks over, sees a scar peeking through, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's Zuko."
It was a great reveal. They hit it very well. But I'm gonna spit out some lowlights here. Being that I've seen it quite a few times at this point, I was able to notice certain things that I wasn't really happy about, and I kind of wrote them down. My lowlights for the episode are the frog hunt. It felt kind of weak, like a weak reason for Aang to be on his own.
Yeah.
Like where they could have just easily waited a little bit and they would have both probably been fine. Aang decides to, walk on his own to go get these frogs. Wasn't really crazy about that.
It felt like just kind of a plot device just to get Aang along.
Yeah. Another part I didn't really like watching it again, Aang was not fighting out of the Yuyan's custody, number 1. And number 2, he gets almost caught too easily.
Good.
Like he's looking for those frogs so incessantly that he just disregards that he's getting shot at by arrows the whole time.
While he's running from the arrows, he's grabbing the frozen frogs and putting them in a shirt. At that point, frogs come back to the frogs. Frogs aren't going anywhere. They're frozen. Yeah,
it was just a very poor decision on his part, which I wasn't crazy about. Eventually, the Momo cutaways, there were certain ones at certain points that I wasn't really happy with because we had some very serious moments where they're trying to break out. Like during the beginning of the escape, we have a scene where they show Momo bringing Katara a tiara, and it just feels out of place.
Of course, it was kind of needed to show you what was going on with the other two, but we knew they were sitting back because they were sick. I didn't expect them to move or go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like an unneeded plot line in this episode.
Yeah.
And my last thing, the episode should have ended with the Aang and Zuko moment, where they're both kind of torn with this entire endeavor they've been through.
Yeah.
But they instantly cut back to the frog gag, and I was like that. I thought it left a sour taste in my mouth, no pun intended, because they had frogs in their mouth. But it just didn't do what it needed to do for me.
No, but it's also kind of filling that typical cartoony kids show trope where it's we're ending it on a funny note.
Yeah.
Good night. They're just like, oh, the frogs, that's gross, spit it out, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like, I'm not surprised.
No, but those are my lowlights. Not a lot of lowlights. It was just certain things I've noticed. But let's get to the positives, because I feel like there's a good amount of positives in this episode. Steve, what are your highlights?
So I got a few highlights. So I'm going to narrow down to a few of them. The Yuyeon archers, some comical level Robin Hood type archery. Yes. I thought that was awesome. Really fun to.
And a sick design too. I kind of like the way the design is.
They look incredible. I want to see more of them. I really do. I want to see more of them going forward. The Avatar water poster. Are you kidding me? Do you know how cool that is to have water posters everywhere? So now it's no longer just Zuko's obsession. Admiral Zhao now. Like really took on this role of finding the Avatar. And now he's making his goal. So now he's getting the whole Fire Nation involved because he has all the resources. Like he's getting everybody involved because water posters are everywhere. That wholly completely elevates like Aang's importance, I guess, to the story. It's not just Zuko's obsession, it's Admiral Zhao's obsession now. And it's a whole different level now where you have the whole nation looking after the Avatar. So the water poster is very touching. So the Archer chase scene where they find him before they capture him, great cinematography. As it looked really good. The Archers like are brutal, relentless. Like the way they able to pin him down without actually hitting him, like through the sleeves and everything, putting him there. Love it. I love archery. I love wristbanding. Like just put a rock on an arrow. I'm sold. So we're getting really cool fight scenes there. Also scenes where Aang is like just jumped off a cliff.
Yeah.
And the archers are just like, okay, they jump up too. I'm just like, who are these people? Like, what are they doing?
And they showed the scenes of them like hitting the trees with the ropes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
kind of coming through.
Yeah, like that's badass. Love it. These fight scenes, man. We're gonna touch on them a lot there. So yeah, so then after Aang gets captured, like Zhao kind of does like a speech starts to the troops, and they mention Ba Sing Se again. You want to say it's like the second time. So he says like, oh, we'll finally capture Ba Sing Se. And the only other time like you kind of heard about it was like in regards to General Iroh, how he laid siege to it and couldn't capture Ba Sing Se. So as a newcomer, what the hell's going on in Ba Sing Se?
Ba Sing Se is a whole different beast, brother.
Like,
we'll get there.
Yes, I want to know now. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this gives it such a mystery, such an aura about it. Like, what is Ba Sing Se really about? And then Zuko, we mentioned earlier, but like Zuko coming in. Now, I didn't know who was Zuko, so I just see this ninja, the blue spirit, kind of come in, do his thing. Again, that all makes sense later on because obviously you talked about it. Like, he knows his way around the area. Like, he knows like the troops. Like, he knows what he's going to be doing. Great fighter. And then, yeah, the moment at the end where like he's saved by Aang, he wakes up. Zuko wakes up the next morning. Aang's trying to talk to him. He's like, oh, maybe we could finally could have been friends or whatever he says.
We knew each other back then.
And for Zuko, it's still on site. Zuko woke up, didn't say a word, and tried to blast him right away.
So, in watching that for the first time,
yeah,
did you think it was going to go any other way?
For a split second, I did. I was like, maybe he'll say something back. You know what I mean? Maybe say like, oh, well, maybe you're right, but I can't afford to not capture you, blah, blah, blah. But he woke up and it was on site. Then you have later on when Zuko's back in the ship where he's like in bed, whatever, and he's looking at the Fire Nation insignia on the wall. And he kind of like turns back on it. So now like he kind of shows that he's having doubts about the Fire Nation. And the moments like that, no words were said. He just, the way his body expression, the way his body language, like that says a lot about where it's going. And now I'm kind of like already surmising, like going forward, like he's doubting the Fire Nation, and you start to think like, okay, going forward, like I could see him deserting the Fire Nation, realizing this is not what he wants to do. Like he's getting screwed over. Admiral Zhao has taken a completely different role of being like the main baddie right now. And I can surmise going forward, like I kind of predict like what's gonna happen. I already kind of planting that seed of Zuko just having enough of those Fire Nation's crap and wanting to go on his own way. So very interesting on into that episode.
So overall, there's some sections of the show that are filler.
Yeah.
I think that the whole start of the episode, him going to the herbalist and stuff, is a little slow, but when it picks up fast. So let's also add something else to the show that I'm kind of doing on the fly. Was this episode a thumbs up for you?
Yeah.
Or a thumbs down?
No, I think a thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, definitely had a slow beginning, slow opening, but then it's like it's things that almost it picked up, and it picked up well.
Yeah.
It gave us a little more insight into going on with Zuko's head. Definitely conflicted, and moments like that where, okay, it's a filler episode, but it gives you that little hint of like insights of character development or growth or whatever, I always appreciate. So this is a thumbs up for me.
So we're going to move on to the next episode, which is episode 14, The Fortune Teller.